Retirement for Life. Your passport to a comfortable and confident retirement. The podcast that's equal parts education and entertainment, where we break down the retirement maze with a dash of fun and a heap of wisdom from your host, Christian Sear CPA, the passionate retirement specialist and president of Sear Financial Wealth Advisors, the independent registered investment advisor specializing in the AIM retirement system.
All right, today's show, episode 19 and 20. We're going to spread this out over 2 episodes on the Retirement for Life show. We're going to talk about the experience that a client has going through the AIM retirement system. We've done 18 episodes. Most of them have been about what we do, details about Social Security, mailbox money. By the way, the number one show we've had so far has been about the top 10 mistakes that you can make in retirement, interestingly enough. But we're always talking about detailed financial things. We've had a couple episodes where we talked about travel. That was a fun one. We have Brooke, you booked, what would you book?
Like a health and wellness coach.
We're going to have a health and wellness coach. But this episode, or these 2 episodes, is going to be strictly for people who are wondering, what is it like for me and my spouse to go through the AIM retirement system? So we're not going to talk about details, boring financial details. We're going to walk through that experience. The AIM retirement system has 4 goals. As we go through this process, first of all, before we get into the process, how long would you guess, Andrea, if you had to say from start to finish, from the time you first encounter us to the time you are officially a client, everything is running smoothly, and you are what I would call a normal client? How long do you think that
I think it takes a couple of months to get everything done.
Yeah, that's right there. This is a 2-month process. We had a guy in the office yesterday, and he's like, all right, let's do it. I'm like, no, right? He wanted to go.
Yeah.
What'd you tell him?
Well, I said we need to slow it down a little bit and wait about a month they still have a final paycheck.
They have a lot going on still. So it's not like you call up a financial advisor if they're doing a complex financial planning system and it's done in 2 days.
Yeah.
If it is,
time.
You've done something wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the 4 goals: maximize chances of retirement success. Number 2, increase income stability. Number 3, apply advanced tax strategy to save 6 figures in taxes. And number 4, maximize multi-generational wealth. That's what we're doing. It's complex. I looked up the definition of complex financial planning. It is a comprehensive approach to managing finances that considers all aspects of a person's financial life. It involves creating a detailed plan and outlines financial goals, budget, savings, investment, retirement, and risk management strategies.
Mouthful.
That's why it takes so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Kitces is a well-known person in the financial industry, and he does a study once a year about, quote, how financial planners actually do financial planning. They define extensive financial planning as a process that includes at least 13 planning components. And I laugh at that because the AIM retirement system has nearly 20 components. It is complex. It takes a while, right? And what makes it interesting to me is the team approach. I think that's what makes it unique. You can see on the screen here, I put up the value diagram. You know that diagram with all the bullet points? These are all the things that happen in the AIM retirement system. This is what we're doing for our clients. One person cannot do this. And one of the unique features of the AIM retirement system is that right off the bat, you're going to be introduced to a team of people.
Yep.
I love that. Brooke gets mad because we have, how many team meetings? Today is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
How many team meetings have we had so far this week, would you say?
Several.
I like team meetings. I like communication. I think that if I was entrusting somebody to my large nest egg, I think I would want a group of people. And so the AIM retirement system, one of the first things that happens is you get assigned a team. Typically, one of those people is going to be a CPA, a person who is on the tax side. And you could see on the value diagram, that's the bottom left quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that person is doing. I also want an investment specialist, right? We have CFA. Her responsibility is to manage the investments. That person needs to be a part of the team, right?
Yep.
And at the top is the person who is the financial advisor, right? A financial planner, an advisor, person who's really leading the discussion, right? So, Andrew, your role in the firm is more of that of the top of this food chain here. You're kind of in charge of that relationship, but are you doing it yourself?
Definitely not.
No. And so, anyway, I think that's what makes it interesting. There's a lot going behind the scenes with this team. It is complex. So, what I want to ask you guys is, how, as a retiree or a person nearing retirement, do you think that they are enjoying this process? Do you think it's a fun process for them?
I think it's a nerve-wracking process for them.
Yeah. What's your sense? Like, are people just giddy to go through this process?
I think they're giddy to retire, but they're also nervous about it.
And what I love hearing is when clients say, I've never retired before, so I don't know what I'm doing. And it's great that we can help them, through this process.
Yep.
What percent of people that go through the AIM retirement system go through very suspect of the process, critical of the process? And what percent are just ready to go and are trusting of the process, would you say?
I think most people come into it suspect just because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what retirement is and how they're going to get their income, and it makes them nervous. So I think most are suspect of it, but I think by the end of it, they all feel very comfortable.
They start to shift towards being more comfortable.
I envisioned this podcast, 19 and 20, both episodes, to be something that we can share with people who are just entering this process and listen to this discussion to get a flavor and a feel for what it's like. So we have made this, I would call it the flow diagram. This is our process for financial planning. Interestingly enough, it mimics the CFP board guidelines for providing financial planning services, but it looks like this. And what I love about this is that it's a continuous circle. You can see there's an entry point. Brooke, you see that entry point? It says assess.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the gateway in. We'll talk about that. But these are all the things: assessing current circumstances, identifying goals, analyzing course of action, collecting information, all these things. But we're always doing all these things.
Every time we have a visit, we're reassessing, we're reevaluating, we're just double checking everything.
It doesn't stop, right? It's not like when you're retired, whatever we know now is what's going to be known forever.
Exactly.
Things change. So much changes. So this is the flow or the work diagram. So we're going to walk through this process. So let's start with the initial gateway into the AIM retirement system. So there are 4 things. What are the 4 ways that they can get? How do we usually hear first from a person who is interested in the AIM retirement system?
We have a lot of people that go through the AIM assessment. So they go to aimassessment.com, and then we get an email, and then we reach out to them that way. Or some people just schedule a 15-minute phone call.
Yeah. And some people will go to our website still. It's funny. So for a person like Austin, they don't use the website. But most of our retirees, they go to the website and they want to check us out. There's a big button on the top, Start Here. And the Start Here button introduces them to all the different ways they can contact us. Maybe I have a lot of 15-minute calls. So retire15.com, I had 3 of them yesterday. It's just people that want to talk for 15 minutes. I think this is a great idea. Of course, I think every idea I have is a great idea, but maybe a good way is just to have a quick conversation, right? But either way, it all starts with the conversation. The best way to go through the process is to go to aimassessment.com, because with the AIM assessment, you're actually kind of getting this try it before you buy it type of feeling. You're getting to know what the AIM assessment could possibly mean to you, what the retirement planning system could mean to you without going through the whole process, almost bypassing some of the legwork we're going to talk about today. But one way or another, it starts with the conversation, and that conversation is brief, and you're scheduling what is the connection visit. A According to a recent study, the average American feels like they need nearly $1.5 million to retire comfortably. That's a 53% increase compared to the same study just 4 years ago. But is that the right number for you? And are you doing everything you can to maximize your financial situation? The AIM Retirement Assessment can help you figure that out. This free assessment is a simple 3-step process. Answer a few questions about yourself. Spend 15 minutes discussing your situation with one of our retirement specialists, and then we get to work. You'll receive a customized report detailing your exposure to the 7 biggest risks in retirement and the 3 most impactful action items you can take to supercharge your retirement. And if you already have a financial plan, this assessment will help you see what real retirement planning looks like. Get your AIM assessment today and see the difference between a financial generalist and a retirement specialist. Go to aimassessment.com today to get started. That's aimassessment.com. Before you come to your very first visit in the AIM retirement system, what are you doing? If you're 65 years old, you've decided you want to go through the process, what's the very first thing that you're getting here?
Yeah, so we're scheduling a connection visit, and then from there, I'll send you a video, kind of describing what that connection visit entails. Also, a little information about the AIM process. I'm also sending a financial profile, basically a quick form, just to learn a little bit of information about you, how you think about money, if you're going to need the funds in a certain amount of years, any other specific, financial goals or items that we should know about before building your plan.
Yeah, and you're like, what's going on? I just got a financial profile. They're asking me questions. The financial profile, we're fiduciaries. I think people are surprised that the first 2 hours of interaction, really, we don't talk about finances.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're asking questions like, what do you want to do in retirement?
Mm-hmm.
What is scaring you the most about retirement? Do you want to spend time with your grandchildren in retirement? Do you want to go travel every continent?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Yep.
And we really key in on those. But yeah, so before you even come to visit for your first official visit, the connection visit, we have a financial profile on you. We have sent you a video about what to expect in this first meeting.
Yep.
We have given you a document that explains what the AIM retirement system is.
Mm-hmm.
And we have given you a list of things we want you to bring to that first meeting. Virtual meetings are becoming more prevalent.
Yeah.
I just had a virtual visit with somebody, David, in Alabama. So this can be done virtually. In fact, what have we found about virtual visits through the AIM retirement system?
They're very effective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can.
They're better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yesterday we had both, right? We had a virtual meeting I had with this gentleman from Alabama, but we also had somebody in the office. It seems like to me the in-office visits tend to take longer, and that's not a problem. But what I love about the virtual visits is that they're just quick and to the point, and we're able to be more efficient with those meetings. And I think the people who are comfortable with a virtual visit appreciate that.
Yeah.
The world's become such a smaller place. But whatever we do, we're going to always send you, we're big on client experience. We're going to send you a reminder, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the reminder? What's it say?
First off, I give them a phone call reminder just to let them know their visit's coming up. And then eventually we send them a text, just another quick reminder right before.
So they don't miss it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you've entered the doorway into the AIM retirement system. You've gotten these things that are trying to help you understand what to expect. And you finally get to the first meeting. The very first question we ask, I think, is how are we doing on time?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And that sets the bar for, look, we have carved out time for you in this first meeting. Are you going to be rushing out the door in 30 minutes? So we want to understand what that time is, but we want to, this is a in-depth get to know you type of thing. And that's what it is. It's a fiduciary meeting. What do I mean by that? Like when I say it's a fiduciary meeting, What do I mean by that?
Well, I mean, a fiduciary has to do what's in your best interest at all times. But if we don't know you, how do we know what your best interest is?
I have to
Mhm.
learn about you.
Yep.
One of my favorite questions at the connection visit is, tell me how you and your spouse met.
Mm-hmm.
When we ask that question, what's the typical reaction?
They're all
think they're shocked.
surprised.
Yeah.
Like, why are you asking
Uh-huh.
me a personal question? No,
Mhm.
you don't get it. We are going to be partners in your retirement,
Yeah.
but this is going to be for the rest of your life.
Yep.
We're going to take care of all this financial stuff, but I need to know you. We need to know you. Your team needs to know you.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
my favorite part is getting to know people.
Yeah. I like Andrea because it's been 13 years now that you've been a part of this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And when people call, Austin, how many people want to talk to me and how many people want to talk to Andrea?
It's heavily majority to Andrea. They want to talk to her.
Or Kayla or whatever. I heard from one of our clients is a friend of my mother. And she told me the other day, she goes, you know what? She goes, so-and-so, my friend, mom's friend, just loves Austin. She just loves Austin. It's about getting to know you, right?
Yep.
So we're spending the first 15 minutes of this connection meeting. This is your first impression of our team. We're just bombarding you with questions about you, right?
Yep.
But then we're going to get into your retirement dreams and goals. And I think that's important. I mean, would you say, I'm going to try and pry this out of you, Andrea.
Okay.
So don't feel bad if you get the answer wrong.
Okay.
But when I am dealing with our clients that we've had for a decade or more, what do I want them? Do I want them to follow every last step that we suggest to them? Or what do I want them to follow?
We always say to follow their gut. They need to do what makes them happy,
Yeah. And
makes them comfortable.
a lot of times that's spending a lot of money on a RV. Is that what they're
A
called?
lot of people, yeah, they want to
Whatever.
travel. Yep.
It's like, okay, we need to learn what you really are going to do in your retirement.
Mhm.
What I don't want to do is think I know you after 10 minutes, and then you come up to me 2 years later and say, I need $80,000 to purchase a vehicle to go around the country and visit national parks. I want to know that ahead of time.
Right.
And we're talking about like your true dreams beforehand. So we're spending time working on your goals and also your fears, right? A lot of people come to us, they have this preconceived notion or something that's on their mind that is unnecessarily large in their list of concerns. And we'll tackle that. So we're going to learn your fears and your concerns in this first visit. How much time first of all, how long does the average connection visit, the first visit, how long does it take, would you say?
I would say at least an hour, usually an hour and a half.
And of that hour and a half, how much time do we spend talking about us or investments or strategy?
Specifically about us, maybe 5 minutes, just
Mhm.
quick
Very
overview of
minimal.
us. But
Mhm.
I mean, investments is more the questions they ask. Otherwise, we don't go into it at all.
Because at the end of this hour and a half, they're going to make a decision, right? We have told them what we do a little bit. We've explained how we do it a little bit. They've met the people, the team that they're going to be working with for the rest of their lives. That's a lot to take in an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this meeting, what's the ultimate decision that the people going through this process, what are they making at the end of this connection visit?
I mean, do they want to move forward? Do they
Yeah.
want to have a second visit with us?
How much pressure do we put on people
No
at this
pressure.
first?
No, none.
It's kind of fun to meet a new person for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a controlled environment. It's not like you're at I saw at the fair the other day, I was walking through and I was scared. Like a lot of these people walking through, it was like a lot of guys wearing vests,
Mm,
scary guys.
very.
And this is a controlled environment. I mean, this is a group of people that are credentialed professionals and it's a comfortable meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just getting down to understanding each other. So that's basically what it is. We talk a little bit about risk. We try and understand, are you scared of investing? Are you comfortable with investing? All that stuff. And we're collecting some stuff also. Like what sorts of things are we collecting at this first meeting, would you say, top of mind?
I mean, to be able to have a second meeting, we're going to need a tax return. We're going to need some statements. just, basic information to put a plan together.
Yeah. You're scanning a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tax returns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. So you spent an hour and a half with us. You've decided, let's go through with this process and see what it means. This is the next phase here. You're collecting additional information.
Yep.
And we're doing that because we need to be able to come up with our recommendations, right? And in this process, this value diagram, there's a lot here. So between your first visit, the connection visit, and your strategy visit, what type of communication are these soon-to-be retired people or retirees? What kind of communication are they getting from us after their first meeting?
So they're going to hear from the planner. They're going to need more information. Surely we need a little bit more than what they maybe brought with them. So, as we're building the plan, we have additional questions.
Is it annoying for a retiree or soon-to-be retiree in between the connection visit and the strategy visit? Do you think our financial planners are annoying? Sometimes I feel like they are.
They probably could be.
Yeah. So there is a lot of information we do need to put together.
We need, look, at the end of the day, I thought about this. I almost put this in an email yesterday, and I took it out because I felt it sounded cheesy. And it's actually a sad commentary on my life. But I was telling this person, I was going to tell this person in the email, I want my legacy to be the person who built well-researched, well-thought-out, highly crafted retirement planning. I spend half of my day thinking about how I'm going to share information with people like we're doing right now. And you know what I spend the other half of my day doing? Figuring out how we can do retirement as best as possible. And every day, you'd think there's like a process and it's done, and once you've nailed it, you've nailed it. No, because as times change, as products change, as technology changes, the way to best implement retirement planning changes. So I hope that my legacy is, and is that sad, Brooke, that I want me to be remembered because I want to be remembered as a retirement planner? Is that?
No.
I think you look down on that. I don't. She looks down on it. She thinks all he is a bald guy with a vest on who all he cares about is retirement planning.
I just can't relate. That's all.
So anyway, I think that's what we're about. And so for me, the time between the connection visit and the strategy visit can be the most annoying part of the process because we are asking a lot of detailed questions. I need to see your pay stubs. I need to see your tax return. I need to see the pension paperwork that you told me you have. I need to see that Social Security statement that tells me exactly how much you're going to be receiving at full retirement age. And if you take it at 62, and if you take it at 70. You say you have a will, I want to see a copy of it. And that is trying for most people, but I think it's necessary. So
Yep, I agree.
I think we'll leave it there for this episode. We've gotten to the point where we have basically talked to you for about an hour and a half, and we've been bugging you a lot for a lot of information. But the strategy visit is upon us, and that's where the real magic is. So we'll tackle the next process in the next episode. But I think it was a great start to the AIM return. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah? Is the strategy visit? One more question, then I promise we'll stop the episode. What's better, the connection visit or the strategy visit? Honestly, there's no right answer.
I think people like the strategy visit because they get that.
Yeah. Like yesterday,
moment,
they were so excited to see that they had the high chance of retirement success and that they felt good about going on their vacation. And
I feel like for us, the connection visit is more fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, meeting somebody for the first time.
Yeah, I love that part.
That's
but
the
I know
best
for
part.
the client experience,
Yeah,
it's got to be
because
the strategy.
we know that the strategy visit is going to be a slam dunk. It's going to be great. We know that now we've done our job. For them, though, it's this big unveiling. It's this unveiling of, can I retire and what are we going to do to make it happen? So we'll talk about that strategy visit next in the next episode.
Investment advisory services provided by Sear Financial, Inc., SEC registered investment advisor. All content on this podcast is for information purposes only and should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. Material presented is believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations are made by our firm as to another party's informational accuracy or completeness.